Heaven's final warning on October 2nd. Wrath is imminent. Respond immediately or face divine consequences. Time is almost gone. Hear this sign. This is not an ordinary moment. This is not another prophetic whisper lost in the sea of noise. This is heaven's final warning, marked, measured, and set in divine alignment for October 2nd. A date, child of God, is not random. It has been carved into the scrolls of the spirit realm long before you were born. It is a heavenly marker of decision. And now, the clock of heaven is ticking audibly in the ears of the watchmen, the intercessors, the chosen. Those who still hear the sound behind the sound. Those who still recognize a divine interruption when it strikes. On October 2nd, something eternal crosses into the realm of time. The heavens are releasing a final alarm, not as a suggestion, not as a soft whisper, but as a divine trumpet blast meant only for those attuned to the frequencies of the throne. This is not a message for everyone. No, many will mock it. Many will scroll past it. Many will fall asleep while heaven is trying to wake them up. But to the spiritually awakened, to the obedient, to the chosen remnant, this word is a command, a directive, a summons. This message is given not from man's invention, but under the authority of the host of heaven, by the voice of one who stands in the presence of God, the archangel Michael. Hear the word of the Lord. The earth is groaning. The heavens are watching. The lines are being drawn in the unseen. October 2nd is not just a date, it is a spiritual dividing line between the faithful and the rebellious, the submitted and the stubborn, the protected and the exposed. Silence is your instruction. Stillness is your posture. Obedience is your weapon. If you are hearing this now, it is because heaven has pulled you aside, called you away, to give you something the others cannot handle. You are being warned ahead of time, because you are being positioned ahead of others. But the window is closing, and your delay is your danger. Heaven's final clock is striking. You not ignore this sign. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Before sunrise on October 2nd, a sign is being released into the atmosphere. It is not a natural sign. It is not a human sign. It is a heavenly signal, carried by the winds of eternity, stirring the spirits of the watchful. This is the movement of the hand of God across the earth. This is the summoning of heaven's army into divine position. Hear me well. October 2nd is not a suggestion. It is not a guess. It is a deadline written in fire, and the earth itself will bear witness. Listen. The Spirit of God is interrupting you right now. You may have stumbled upon this message while scrolling. You may have heard it in the background and paused. But I tell you, this is no accident. This is divine interruption. The Spirit of God is literally stopping you mid-action, pulling you out of distraction, demanding your ear. Because this is not a message to entertain you. It is a message to position you. It is a trumpet sound wrapped in words, and it will not let you go until you decide. Hear this. October 2nd is a crossing point between mercy and judgment. Until now, grace has held back what wrath wanted to release. Mercy had been standing as a shield while heaven recorded the actions of men. But now the balance shifts. October 2nd is the line in the sand where God says, "Choose this day whom you will serve." Those who are awake will rise. Those who are asleep will be left behind in the chaos of their own making. Do you not feel it already? The unrest in the air, the pressure in your spirit, the sense that something unseen is moving. That is not imagination. It is heaven's frequency colliding with Earth's timeline. Angels are already dispatched. Assignments are already activated. The records are already being reviewed. And you, listener, you are being pulled into this moment not by chance but by divine election. This message is for the watchful, the discerning, the ones who still hear heaven's call in the middle of earthly noise. It is for those who still pray when others sleep, for those who still seek when others mock, for those who still kneel when others walk in pride. It is not for everyone. No, this word is sealed for those who have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying. If your spirit leaps as these words flow, then you know this warning is for you. But take heed. October 2nd is not just another day on the calendar. It is a spiritual deadline, a convergence point where obedience will unlock protection, but rebellion will invite exposure. The unseen will collide with the seen. The veil will be torn, and the watchman will understand why the Spirit pressed them so heavily. This is your moment of decision. This is your call to alignment. This is your final alarm before the strike of heaven's clock. The archangel Michael speaks with clarity. Stand ready. Do not delay. Heaven moves swiftly, and those who hesitate will feel the weight of consequences. The trumpet is sounding. The deadline approaches. October 2nd is heaven's marker, and you are being summoned to act. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There is a stirring in the unseen, and it has already begun to touch the edges of your life. You may not be able to explain it, but you feel it. The tension, the whispers, the shifting atmosphere. It comes like a shadow that passes across your thoughts. It comes like a sudden unease in your heart. It comes like a heaviness that will not leave. These are not random emotions. These are signals from the spirit realm, telling you that something is about to unfold as October 2nd approaches. Listen closely. Not all battles are visible. Not all enemies announce themselves. Even now, there are hidden conversations, quiet betrayals, silent watchers observing your steps. There are those who smile at you yet speak differently when you are not in the room. There are those who watch you not to celebrate you but to calculate you. And though their mouths remain closed, their hearts are plotting. Heaven sees what you cannot see. Heaven hears what you do not hear. And heaven is sending this message so that you are not caught off guard when the curtain lifts. They know something is shifting. They sense it in you. They see it around you. But they do not know the fullness of what heaven is preparing to release. That is why confusion has risen around you. That is why tension has entered your relationships. That is why you have felt restless, unsettled, unsure. Because the unseen world is colliding with your destiny, and the closer October 2nd comes, the more the pressure builds. Have you noticed how gossip increases when you are near a breakthrough? Have you noticed how unexpected conflicts arise when you are closest to alignment? These are not accidents. These are the ripples of a larger spiritual movement. Something hidden is being stirred, and heaven is alerting you so you will not be moved by fear, but by faith. Do not mistake the unrest in your soul as weakness. It is heaven's alarm inside you, shaking you awake before the clock strikes. The mystery remains because heaven does not reveal every detail at once. If everything were exposed, you would rely on sight instead of faith. But in this moment, you are called to trust without clarity. You are called to stand firm in the midst of uncertainty. You are called to prepare without knowing all the answers. Because the mystery is not meant to paralyze you, it is meant to sharpen you. It keeps you watchful. It keeps you listening. It keeps you leaning into the voice of God and not the noise of man. And yet, make no mistake, the consequences are real. Heaven is not speaking in riddles to entertain you. Heaven is speaking in shadows to protect you. What is coming after October 2nd cannot be avoided by pretending it does not exist. It will separate. It will reveal. It will expose. And your posture, your obedience, your silence will determine whether you walk into wrath or into refuge. So lean into this tension. Do not despise the unrest. Do not run from the confusion. Let it press you into prayer. Let it press you into silence. Let it press you into obedience. Because mystery is not your enemy. It is the cloak of heaven, guarding the things too powerful to reveal all at once. Type "I am protected" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1444 is now surrounding you. Child of God, if this message is igniting your spirit, then you already know it is more than words. It is a divine assignment. When you stand with this message, you are not supporting a voice. You are fueling the movement of heaven itself. Every seed you release becomes light breaking into darkness, oil poured on the fire of revival, manna falling for the hungry souls who have not yet heard. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Hear this as God's living promise, not a distant scripture. I tell you this in truth. Your act of giving becomes part of heaven's trumpet, sending this warning to the ones who must awaken before it is too late. If you feel that tug in your spirit right now, respond boldly. Sow into this mission through Super Thanks, channel memberships, or the PayPal link in the description. As you give, I speak over you. May your harvest be accelerated, may your household be covered, and may your obedience mark you as chosen. Do not delay. Release your seed now. Child of God, what you are facing right now is not simply chaos. It is not simply confusion, and it is not simply human resistance. What you are experiencing is the evidence of your calling. The storms that have risen, the battles that have intensified, the sudden opposition that has increased, it is all a sign that you are standing at the threshold of heaven's appointed moment. October 2nd is not just a date, it is a line drawn in the spirit realm. And the resistance you feel right now is proof that you are being tested for alignment. Heaven is watching your response. Understand this truth: conflict reveals loyalty. When everything around you is shaking, the question is not whether you will survive but whom you will serve. Will you run into fear, or will you stand under the covering of heaven? Will you fight in the flesh, or will you wait for God to vindicate you? This is the test before the deadline, and every word you speak, every reaction you choose, every thought you entertain is being weighed and recorded before the throne. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is unnoticed. Nothing slips past the all-seeing eye of heaven. Look closely at your current battles. The people rising against you. The whispers that seem to come from nowhere. The sudden financial strain. The unexpected delays. The misunderstandings that multiply. All of these are not random. They are signs of separation. The conflict is designed to expose where your true allegiance lies. It is designed to strip away the distractions and force you into clarity. Either you stand with heaven, or you drift into the snares of man. You see, opposition is not a curse, it is a confirmation. If you were not marked, you would not be attacked. If you were not chosen, you would not be resisted. If you were not aligned with something greater, the enemy would not waste his weapons on you. The conflict is heaven's way of proving to you that you are on the right path. This pressure is not punishment, it is prophecy being fulfilled. And those who endure it faithfully will see heaven's hand move in undeniable ways. But hear me clearly, your reaction now determines your spiritual outcome. Heaven is measuring not your perfection, but your posture. Are you still? Are you watchful? Are you obedient? Are you quick to anger, or are you quick to surrender? The testing of this hour is not meant to break you. It is meant to prove you. Those who collapse under the weight will expose themselves. But those who endure will be elevated into divine protection and favor as October 2nd arrives. Do not be deceived. This is not just about you. The conflict is larger than your personal situation. It is a battlefield of loyalty between heaven and the forces that oppose it. Your obedience testifies on behalf of heaven. Your silence testifies against the enemy. Your faith becomes a sword in the unseen, and every time you resist fear, every time you resist retaliation, you declare loudly to the spirit realm, I belong to God, and I will not be moved. So, embrace this season with discernment. Do not see only the hands that rise against you. See the unseen forces at work behind them. Recognize that the battle is not with flesh and blood, but with principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness that despise your alignment with heaven. And know this, you are not alone in the fire. Heaven's armies are surrounding you. Your cries are not ignored. Your endurance is not overlooked. Every tear is recorded, every act of obedience is sealed, and every decision you make is shaping your destiny. Heaven is watching. The question is not whether God is present. The question is whether you are aligned. October 2nd will reveal it. Type I am covered in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1717 is now released over you. Hear me with urgency. Within 72 hours of October 2nd, the unseen will be forced into the open. The conversations spoken in darkness will be revealed in the light. The plotting that has been taking place in secret chambers will rise to the surface. The masks will fall, and the truth will no longer be hidden. This is not speculation. This is not assumption. This is the word of the Lord delivered to those who are watchful enough to receive it. Heaven declares that what was concealed will be exposed, and you must be ready for the unveiling. Already the clock of eternity is striking closer to this appointed hour. Do you not feel it pressing against your spirit? Do you not sense the acceleration of time? Days feel shorter. Hours slip faster. Restless nights increase. These are not coincidences. These are the markers of heaven's countdown. October 2nd has been carved as a divine line, and within 72 hours of that moment, a great exposure will ripple across the lives of many. Those who laughed will tremble. Those who mocked will be silenced. Those who doubted will witness. This is a warning not to scare you, but to prepare you. For when heaven pulls back the veil, The shock of what comes forth will tempt many to panic, to run, to scatter. But you, child of God, are being prepared now so that when others shake, you will stand. When others lose their footing, you will remain planted. When others question, you will already know that the hour was appointed and that heaven revealed it ahead of time. Pay attention to the subtle movements around you even now. Notice the sudden distancing of certain people. Notice the unexpected silences, the quiet shifts in tone, the strange withdrawals of those who once seemed close. These are signs that hearts are being exposed. Hidden intentions are being stirred. Heaven is rearranging the pieces, and though you cannot yet see the full picture, trust that everything is being positioned for revelation. But take this with holy seriousness. Time is almost gone. The warnings have been given, the signs have been shown, and the window is closing quickly. There is no more room for hesitation. If heaven has whispered to you, obey. If the Spirit has nudged you, respond. If your heart hath been convicted, do not delay. Because once the unveiling begins, once the exposure bursts forth, there will be no time to prepare. You must be anchored before the storm breaks. And do not think small of what is coming. What you imagine is not enough. What you expect will not compare. For what is on the horizon is greater, heavier, and sharper than you can conceive. The consequences will not be mild. The revelations will not be light. The shift will be undeniable, and every soul will be forced to respond. That is why this warning has been sounded ahead of time. That is why heaven's voice speaks with such fire. Because mercy is still standing, but only for a moment longer. So prepare your heart. Guard your tongue. Stay rooted in silence and prayer. For within 72 hours of October 2nd, the unseen will not remain hidden. Heaven has spoken it, and it will come to pass. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1818 is now being activated over your life. Be still. That is the command of heaven for this hour. When storms rise and confusion multiplies, the natural instinct is to react, to defend, to speak, to fight. But hear this clearly: heaven fights when you do not. The greatest weapon in this moment is not your voice raised in anger, not your hands stretched in defense, not your mind racing to solve what is unfolding. The greatest weapon right now is stillness under divine instruction. The archangel Michael declares, "Do not be moved by the noise around you. Do not be lured into battles that are not yours. Do not open your mouth when heaven has told you to remain silent." For silence in this season is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the shield that protects you from the arrows you cannot see. It is the cloak that hides you from enemies who think they know your steps. It is the posture that allows heaven's armies to move on your behalf without interference. Understand this mystery. Stillness is not inaction. Stillness is divine positioning. When you choose silence, you are not retreating. You are advancing in the Spirit. When you resist the urge to respond, you are giving heaven permission to fight battles beyond your reach. Every time you refuse to argue, every time you refuse to defend yourself, every time you step back from conflict, you are stepping into the shield of the Almighty. To the one who promised, "Be still and know that I am God," does not lie. This is the moment where restraint becomes your greatest strength. Withdraw from needless conversations. Step away from fruitless arguments. Let your prayers carry your words instead of your tongue. Watch and see how those who sought to trap you in their snares will stumble into their own designs. For heaven has set its angels in motion, and the very traps laid for you will become the pits that swallow your enemies. Make this your practice. When the tension rises, pause. When the conflict surfaces, pray. When the urge to react burns in your chest, silence it with worship. Let your tears speak where your words cannot. Let your faith declare what your mouth did not. Heaven is listening to your spirit far louder than men are listening to your voice. And I declare over you now, stillness is your shield, prayer is your weapon, silence is your fortress. The noise around you cannot penetrate the barrier God has placed over you. The betrayal forming against you cannot override the covenant covering your head. The restlessness pressing into your spirit cannot overtake the peace that surpasses understanding, if only you guard your stillness and remain in obedience. So stand firm. Refuse the bait of distraction. Refuse the temptation to expose what heaven has chosen to hide. The timing of God is perfect, and the unveiling of truth will not miss its appointed hour. All you are called to do now is hold your ground, cover yourself in prayer, and watch as heaven fights battles beyond your reach. And as you wait, declare these words over yourself: I am shielded. I am hidden. I am covered. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment, the Lord will condemn. Let these words be your anthem in the silence. Let them be your shield in the night. For the God who called you has not abandoned you. The same God who warned you will protect you, and the same God who protects you will vindicate you. Be still. Stay silent. Trust deeply. October 2nd will reveal that heaven never left you uncovered. Type "I am covered by heaven" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1919 is now placed over your life. You are not who you were before this moment. What you have walked through, what you have endured, what you have survived has reshaped you. The battles that tried to break you have in fact built you. The conflicts that sought to silence you have actually sharpened you. You stand now on the edge of October 2nd, not as the same person who first felt the shaking months ago, but as one who has been forged in fire. Heaven declares this truth over you. Your stillness was not wasted. Your obedience was not ignored. Your restraint was not weakness. And with the foundation of your transformation, the enemy hoped your silence would crush you. He hoped your withdrawal would leave you powerless. He hoped your stillness would become your grave. But what he did not anticipate is that silence in God's hand becomes strength. Withdrawal under heaven's command becomes fortification. Stillness under divine covering becomes empowerment. And now, child of God, what looked like weakness in the eyes of man has become the very platform of your rising. Look at yourself with spiritual eyes. You are not standing as a victim. You are standing as a warrior clothed in hidden armor. You are not bowed under the weight of betrayal. You are lifted by the wings of resilience. You are not shrinking in fear. You are expanding in strength. Heaven whispers now, you have grown, though you did not notice it. You have matured, though you doubted yourself. You have been elevated, though the world could not yet see it. This is why the pressure has been relentless. This is why the attacks have multiplied. Because the fire was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to refine you. The storms were not meant to drown you. They were meant to wash away the old. The nights of unrest were not meant to weaken you. They were meant to awaken the warrior inside you. And now, as the clock of heaven approaches October 2nd, your true strength is being revealed. See yourself as heaven sees you, a flame that cannot be extinguished, a voice that cannot be silenced, a light that cannot be hidden. The Spirit of the Lord says, you are rising on wings like eagles. You are being lifted above the storm. You are being set in a higher place. The same hands that shielded you in stillness are now pushing you into empowerment. The same God who told you to wait is now declaring it is time to rise. Do not fear your strength. Do not doubt your authority. Heaven has placed weapons of light in your hands and fire in your words. This is the shift from silence into declaration, from waiting into walking, from shielding into striking. The transformation is not future, it is now. You are stepping out of the shadows into visibility. You are moving from hidden obedience into public empowerment. And nothing in hell has the power to stop it. So rise. Let your posture change. Let your back straighten. Let your voice carry power. For you are no longer the same as you were yesterday. You are the refined, the empowered, the chosen. The countdown to October 2nd is not to your destruction, it is to your unveiling. And heaven declares over you now, you are ready to walk in the strength you never knew you carried. Type I am empowered in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2020 is now released over your destiny. Hear me with clarity. The reason for the shaking, the reason for the stillness, the reason for the warning is this. Destiny is unlocking before your very eyes. The pressure you have felt was never random. The battles you have fought were never without purpose. Every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, every moment where you wanted to give up but still pressed forward, these were not wasted. They were seeds planted in the soil of obedience, and October 2nd is the hour when heaven begins to water those seeds with divine fire. The Spirit of the Lord says, this warning was not given to frighten you, but to align you. This shaking was not sent to break you, but to prepare you. This pressure is not your destruction, it is your preparation. What you are walking into is not an ending but a beginning. The end of old cycles. The end of endless delay. The end of silent betrayal. And the beginning of divine unlocking. The beginning of new authority. The beginning of fresh assignments. The beginning of blessings tied to your faithfulness. Child of God, you must understand, this is not merely about survival. This is about promotion. Heaven is elevating those who remain steadfast. Heaven is lifting those who obeyed when it was hard. Heaven is rewarding those who chose silence when retaliation seemed easier. October 2nd is not just a deadline of judgment. It is also a gate of destiny. As wrath is poured out on the disobedient, favor will be poured out on the faithful. As exposure falls on the rebellious, honor will rise on the obedient. Heaven is dividing with precision, removing the false coverings of the unrighteous while clothing the righteous with fresh garments of authority. And you, chosen one, are known in heaven. Your name is sealed in the record. Your tears have been collected in bottles. Your prayers have been weighed on golden scales. And the voice of the Lord declares, now comes the time of recognition. And now comes the hour of unlocking. Now comes the shift into the next dimension of destiny. The fire that pressed you was only a key. The pressure that weighed you down was only the unlocking of your new identity. You have been hidden long enough. Now you are being revealed. So do not misinterpret the warfare. Do not despise the preparation. It was heaven's way of ensuring you were strong enough to carry what comes next. The destiny that is unlocking in this moment is not small. It is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is weighty. It is eternal. It is divinely sealed. And it will be the evidence to the nations that God is with you, that you were not forsaken, and that every moment of obedience brought you to this very threshold. Therefore lift your head, strengthen your spirit, and prepare your heart. For October 2nd is not the day of your collapse. It is the day of your unveiling. You will walk into a season where what heaven spoke in secret over you will be shouted openly. What God promised in whispers will manifest in fire. The hour has come. The unlocking has begun. Type "My destiny is unlocked" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2222 is now active over your life. Beloved, as this revelation pours forth, remember, this mission is not about voices on a screen. It is about souls being awakened. Each word released is light cutting through the darkness, oil being poured upon weary hearts, manna feeding those who are starving for truth. When you choose to sow into this mission, you are not supporting a channel, you are igniting a harvest. The Word of God says, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy." This is not just a verse, it is a living decree over your life. Hear me as if heaven is speaking directly. Your giving is not a donation. It is a prophetic act that breaks chains and multiplies deliverance across nations. If your spirit feels stirred in this moment, obey without hesitation. Stand with heaven through super thanks, memberships, or the PayPal link in the description. And as you do, may heaven open its windows over your house, may favor chase you down, and may your obedience echo as testimony before the throne. Heaven is waiting for your yes. That is the word for this moment. October 2nd is not simply a deadline of warning, it is a gate of destiny. And gates do not open automatically. They respond to alignment, to obedience, to decision. You have heard the alarm, you have felt the pressure, you have sensed the shift, but now you must respond. Destiny is not passive. It is not something that falls into your hands while you sit idle. Destiny is activated when faith collides with obedience. Destiny is unlocked when your spirit says yes to what heaven demands. The Spirit of the Lord declares, "You have carried the weight of waiting, but now is the hour to walk into the call." Heaven has brought you to this moment not to tease you with promises, but to position you for fulfillment. But child of God, you must act. You must declare. You must align. Your words matter in this hour. Your prayers matter in this hour. Your obedience matters in this hour. October 2nd will not only reveal what others have done, it will reveal what you have chosen. Do not shrink back now. Do not let fear convince you that you are not ready. Do not let the wounds of yesterday rob you of tomorrow's crown. Heaven had prepared you for this. Every storm you endured, every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered in the night, it was all shaping you for this crossing point. This is not the hour to retreat. This is the hour to rise. This is the hour to declare boldly, "Here I am, Lord. Send me. Use me. Align me. Seal me." Destiny is not for the hesitant. It is for the courageous. It is for the ones who dare to believe even when they cannot see. It is for the ones who keep walking even when the path is unclear. It is for the ones who choose to trust when everything around them screams doubt. And you, chosen one, have been summoned into this very place. The reason the pressure was so intense is because the promise is so weighty. The reason the warfare was so strong is because the destiny is so significant. Heaven is not looking for perfection. Heaven is looking for surrender. Heaven is not demanding flawless execution. Heaven is demanding a heart that is willing. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to understand every detail. All you need to do is open your mouth and open your heart and say, "Yes, Lord, I agree with heaven's plan. Yes, Lord, I surrender to your timing. Yes, Lord, I align with your will." That yes will shake the spirit realm. That yes will activate angels. That yes will mark you as sealed for the unfolding of destiny on October 2nd. So rise in faith. Speak life over yourself. Declare over your family. Align your atmosphere with the word of the Lord. Say it until it pierces the heavens. I am chosen. I am covered. I am appointed. I am rising. For this is the sound that activates destiny. This is the vibration that unlocks doors. This is the echo that heaven responds to. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Your yes is the key that will carry you into the promise prepared for you. Heaven waits. The angels listen. The throne leans in. Destiny is ready to be activated by your obedience. The time is now. The hour is here. October 2nd is your gate. Say yes, and watch heaven move. Type ISAYY yes to heaven in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2323 is now loosed into your atmosphere. Child of God, while you sleep, heaven does not. While you rest, the spirit realm is alive with movement. While you wipe tears from your face, heaven is recording each one as testimony. What your natural eyes cannot see is that there are negotiations happening on your behalf, transactions unfolding in the unseen, decrees being written in the courts of heaven. October 2nd is not just a date of exposure and division. It is a date of divine exchange. Something is being shifted, something is being released, something is being conferred in the unseen, it will manifest in the seen. Do not underestimate what is happening in silence. For silence is not inactivity, it is hidden activity. While you wait, angels are warring. While you obey, hosts of heaven are moving. While you pray, scrolls of destiny are being unsealed. The Spirit of the Lord declares, what was stolen is being returned. What was delayed is being accelerated. What was withheld is being released. And you may not understand it in full, but your spirit already senses it. That unrest you feel in your belly, that anticipation you cannot explain, is the sound of your spirit aligning with heaven's transactions. In the unseen, there are altars that spoke against you being dismantled. In the unseen, there are contracts written in darkness being burned by holy fire. In the unseen, angels stand with swords drawn, confronting spirits that sought to hold you back. In the unseen, heaven's hand is tipping the scales in your favor. This is why the warfare intensified. This is why the whispers of betrayal grew louder. Because the enemy knew a shift was being negotiated, and he tried to distract you from it. But he has failed. You remained. You obeyed. You endured. And now the exchange is being sealed. Here is also a silent testimony being written. Every prayer you spoke became a line in the record. Every tear became a seal on the page. Every act of obedience became a signature before the throne. And heaven is forgotten. Heaven has not overlooked. Heaven has declared, the time of remembrance is now. October 2nd is the day of unveiling, but it is also the day when these records are brought forward, when what was recorded in silence speaks loudly in favor of the faithful. Even now, your spirit is picking up on these shifts. That sudden heaviness in prayer, that strange alertness in your dreams, that sense of being watched. It is because the unseen is closer to being revealed than ever before. Your soul does not fully understand it, but your spirit knows. It knows when heaven is leaning in. It knows when angels are standing guard. It knows when an exchange is about to take place. And right now, your spirit is in sync with the countdown to October 2nd. So hold steady. Stay aligned. Do not be moved by what your eyes see, but trust what your spirit knows. Because soon the silent exchange will no longer be silent. Soon what was done in the secret places of heaven will break open in the earth. And when it does, no man, no enemy, no power of darkness will be able to deny it. You will see with your own eyes what your spirit already feels. The exchange is complete, and the blessing has been loosed. Type heaven is moving for me in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2424 is now sealed over your life. Hear me with the authority of heaven. What was done to you is not forgotten. Every betrayal, every injustice, every lie whispered behind your back, every scheme formed against your name, every delay inflicted on your destiny, none of it escaped heaven's eyes, and none of it will go unanswered. October 2nd has been marked as a day when the scales of divine justice tip in your favor, and what was inflicted upon you will return to its senders with multiplied force. For the Lord says, "Vengeance is mine. I will repay." You may have wondered why it seemed like those who wronged you prospered. You may have questioned why those who hurt you walked freely while you suffered in silence. But heaven was never blind to it. The delay was not neglect, it was calculation. Heaven was storing every record, waiting for the appointed hour when judgment and reversal would collide. That hour is near. October 2nd stands as the marker when those who oppressed you will stumble under the weight of their own choices, while you rise under the covering of divine vindication. What they spoke against you will circle back to them. What they withheld from you will be multiplied and released into your hands. What they tried to block will be rerouted and accelerated toward you. The harm they intended will become the harvest that elevates you. The word of the Lord declares that the very stone the builders rejected will become the cornerstone. You, child of God, are that stone, cast aside by men, chosen by heaven, rejected by voices around you, sealed by the voice above you. This reversal is not simply about your vindication. It is about heaven's honor. When the righteous are mocked, heaven's name is mocked. When the faithful are oppressed, heaven's authority is questioned. That is why the reversal is necessary, not only for your sake, but for the glory of the King. For when justice strikes, the world will see that it was never your hand that defended you, it was the hand of the Almighty. And when restoration comes, it will be so abundant, so undeniable, that those who once doubted you will be forced to acknowledge that God was always with you. Child of God, prepare yourself for restoration. Prepare yourself for doors to open where walls once stood. Prepare yourself for resources to flow where lack once ruled. Prepare yourself for honor to rise where shame once lingered. This is not wishful thinking. This is prophetic decree. Heaven has already shifted the balance, and your portion is being released. You will not only recover what was lost, you will step into overflow. You will not only receive back what was stolen, you will receive it multiplied. You will not only walk in restoration, you will walk in elevation. And to those who thought their words would bury you, heaven is turning their curses into blessings. To those who thought their betrayal would silence you, heaven is using it as the platform of your rise. To those who thought their schemes would break you, heaven is weaving them into the story of your testimony. This is the divine reversal. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good. So stand tall. Lift your head. Do not fear their laughter, for it will turn into silence. Do not dread their opposition, for it will turn into ashes. Do not grieve over what was taken, for it is already on its way back with interest. October 2nd is not only heaven's final warning, it is heaven's moment of vindication. Justice is coming. Reversal is unfolding. Restoration is being loosed, and you will see it with your own eyes. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2727 is now operating over your life. Child of God, hear this final word with the full weight of heaven's authority. October 2nd is no longer distant. It is at the door. The final clock is ticking, and the trumpet of warning has sounded. Heaven has extended mercy, but the window is closing swiftly. Wrath is imminent for the disobedient, but grace still stands for the obedient. You have been warned. You have been prepared. You have been instructed, and now the final choice rests in your hands. This is not a word to frighten you. It is a word to awaken you. Time is almost gone, but you are not abandoned. You are sealed. You are seen. You are covered. The God who began this work in you has not forsaken you. Though the shaking has been great, though the pressure has been heavy, though the silence has been difficult, you are still standing. And that is proof enough that you were chosen for this hour. Heaven has not overlooked your prayers, nor has it ignored your tears. Every moment of obedience has been accounted for, every sacrifice has been remembered, and every act of faith has been written in the records of heaven. Now comes the blessing. Now comes the sealing. Now comes the protection that will carry you through the storm. I speak this over you. The fire of the Lord surrounds you. The angels of heaven encamp around you, and the blood of Jesus covers every doorway of your life. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper. No curse spoken against you shall stand. No snare set against you shall succeed. October 2nd will not destroy you. It will distinguish you. October 2nd will not expose you. It will elevate you. October 2nd will not end you. It will unveil you. So rise with confidence. Walk with boldness. Stand under the covering of the Almighty. You are sealed by the Spirit. You are marked by heaven. And you are being sent into the next chapter of your destiny. The heavens bear witness. The earth will soon testify, and your life will declare, "The Lord was with me, and He has done this thing." The final blessing is spoken. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are rising. Now walk in it. Type "I am sealed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3030 is now covering you in this hour. Beloved, as we close this divine word, I remind you, This message is not mine. It is heaven's trumpet. And when you choose to stand with it, you are not merely supporting a voice. You are fueling the advancement of God's word into nations, into hearts, into souls that desperately need awakening. Think of your giving not as charity, but as prophecy in action. The word declares, He gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater. This is God speaking life over you. Your seed unlocks multiplied harvest. Your gift becomes light to the lost, and your obedience becomes oil poured into the fire of revival. Do not let this moment pass without responding. Stand with heaven today through Super Thanks. Channel memberships with the PayPal link in the description. And I release this blessing over every giver. May rivers of provision flow into your life. May the heavens open above your house, and may your seed speak louder than every curse sent against you. This is not suggestion. It is command. Rise, release, and watch God move.